Look at the incredible beauty and wonder of Canyon Creek Meadows. Let me scroll around and show you the beautiful three-fingered jack. You can see some glaciation still across the way as we continue to hike along. So you got to be extra careful in this section, my friend. Look at the incredible beauty of this Alpine Turquoise Cirque. I'm here at the incredible three-fingered jack here in Mount Jefferson Wilderness, Central Oregon, and look at this incredible beauty. We've got some glaciers here on the left. We've got a hidden turquoise Alpine Cirque on the right. I'll pan over and show the rest of this very steep basin. We've got some rustic streaks of our mountain ridge to our left. This, my friend, is absolutely spectacular. Look at the incredible beauty of three-fingered jack. I'm here on Canyon Creek Meadows Loop here in Central Oregon, Mount Jefferson Wilderness, and look at those rustic streaks of the mighty three-fingered jack. I just actually climbed up this rocky mountaineering zone between those two humps. You get a great vantage point of a hidden Alpine Turquoise Cirque as well as some mountain goats. I'm on my way back down. Thought I'd stop, turn around, and take one last look at our close trusty friend, the mighty three-fingered jack. This area is absolutely spectacular. Take a look at this beautiful upper Canyon Creek Meadow. Here's the area we are traversing in the shadows as I started this at sunrise. We are currently descending this rocky zone. Again, I'm going to recommend extreme caution when hiking and ascending this. It's loose rock and a lot of dirt. Candidly, it's so counterintuitive. Like, I have no problem going up. Up's easy for me. It's for me the part that's difficult is going down. Because I don't trust, even though I have nice Lofa shoes, boots, I just don't trust the dirt starts sliding, and I feel like I lose control of my footing very easily. So I actually have a lot more trouble getting down than I do going up. So just exercise extreme caution, maintain your situational awareness, and just be patient, and eventually you'll get to the bottom. I went to the Turquoise and then I'm back. I'm about to tuck back into our mountain hemlock forest. Pretty hilarious to me that there's like this little opening right here and then turn around and it's just expansive. Oh, look at how beautiful this is. I'm on my way to the next segment of the hike to Wasco Lake, but I wanted to stop. One last look back at the incredible three-fingered jack. This is beautiful. As we leave the three-fingered jack Turquoise Alpine Cirque zone, this mountainy Alpine Wonderland, and we get back into the forest. We've got some mountain hemlock right here, a passageway to traverse. Kind of a cool little passageway. Kind of funny how this trail is crafted. You got these massive expansive panoramas with mountains and cirques and meadows, and you have these little narrow tree passageways. It's a pretty cool hike overall, I gotta say. I am a fan. So I started at Jack Lake, permit required, recreation.gov. Just did segment 1, which was Jack Lake to the hidden Turquoise Alpine Cirque viewing zone. Just left that area. Now I'm descending back from whence I came. This is not just an out and back hike though. I'm going to make this a much longer hike, really almost double it. I'm gonna hike over to Wasco Lake, the brilliant blue sapphire sparkling lake known as Wasco Lake. Definitely the best lake in the 24-mile three-fingered jack loop, in my humble opinion. Check out a couple of the backcountry campsites around there if they're not occupied. Then I'm gonna climb up Minto Pass And there's actually a nice little hiking hack. There's a beautiful lookout of Wasco Lake at the top of Minto Pass that gives you a pretty spectacular money shot of the lake. It could be particularly gorgeous if the wind is blowing and the sun is sparkling, and it's a pretty ethereal view. And then I will continue up Pacific Crest Trail through the Burnout Zone, getting some great views of Mount Washington. You know, right now we've been focusing on Three Finger Jack, but there's a lot of other mountain eye candy in the area. And then I will, kind of at the edge of the Burnout Zone, once you start getting back to the forest, that's typically the area I like to turn around, because I am basically cherry picking segments of a loop, so there's not a natural turnaround spot as far as the topography. I typically stop at the edge of the Burnout Zone and turn back around, head back. At that point I take the shortest distance back to the trailhead, complete the Canyon Creek Meadows loop, that last part of it. So if you do that, if you follow my itinerary, 12.7 miles, about 1,700 feet elevation gain. It's a very manageable hike. As far as a day hike, that's how I'm doing it. So I consider 8 to 12 miles moderate, 12 to 15 miles hard, and then 15 or more miles very hard. I typically don't like to do more than an 18 to 20 miles. 20 miles is about the longest day hike I generally do, but I'm very comfortable doing a 17, 18, 20 mile day hike, but that would be in the very hard category. As far as elevation, 0 to 1,000 is easy, 1,000 to 2,000 is moderate, 2,000 to 3,000 is hard, and 3,000 plus is very hard. So at 1,700 feet, it's just moderate. So it's the low end of hard distance, kind of the middle of moderate for elevation. So this is a very reasonable, doable day hike for most wilderness adventurers. If you're just starting, I would train up to this. I wouldn't do this as your first hike, because it is a reasonable day hike. Probably take a good half a afternoon to complete. It's 6 hours if you're kind of going comfortably. So plan accordingly, temperature management wise, fluids, energy, food. I've got a couple drinks on me and I am fully stocked and ready to go. Kind of interesting, it's Thursday and all of the permits were taken. Canyon Creek Meadows is a very popular day hike. We've got the Cascade Wilderness permit system. I was able to get one of the last 2 permits. Kind of funny. Drove to the trailhead and I was the only one here. Got all the way to the Turquoise Cirque and now I'm hiking back. I haven't seen a single soul. So I guess people like to come at a more leisurely time. Not how I roll. I like to avoid the sun. So you can see the meadow we will be descending straight ahead. Oh, this is so beautiful. Currently descending the kind of upper edge of the upper meadow zone. This area is called Canyon Creek Meadows. There's an upper and lower meadows. Lower meadows you hit kind of right when you get to the junction. That's going to be back in a little ways. We went by that on the way up. We're going down now. Just kind of the edge of the upper meadows. Sorts of little purple wildflowers, and see some other colors over there. Look at that. Those are like pink. They're very beautiful. I always want to respect that they don't want you kind of trampling over it, so I never go over to look at the flowers, and I never pick flowers or anything like that. Don't think that's appropriate. Stop and take a look back. Our close trusty friend, Three-Fingered Jack, as we continue to descend this Alpine Wonderland. I think you can see why this is such a popular hiking zone. that for the Cascade Wilderness permit system, this is a permit hike. And this is one of those where it fills up quickly and there's more people that want to hike it than there are permits available. So definitely have to be a couple days ahead on this one. Probably do it in the morning a couple days ahead to even snag one. I tried to snag one for another day and wasn't able to. I did it too late in the day. So I was underestimating the popularity of this trail currently. So second attempt, I was able to get one of the last two. So got my trusty permit in my pocket. But if you want to come do this, I would recommend an aggressive permit securing strategy. You got to time the days, you got to time the time, do it in the morning. The only way you can ensure you're going to get a permit if you have a specific day in mind you want to do it. I say I'm surprised by the lack of people, candidly. Normally you see a couple tents, and this is a very popular backpacking loop, the Three Finger Jack loop. Haven't seen a single tent, haven't seen a single backpacker, haven't seen a single person, haven't seen a single day hiker, obviously. So it's just me and hopefully not a bunch of bears and cougars. It's me and a man alone with his thoughts, the most dangerous thing in the world. Stop and take a look back at this beautiful creek. This is Canyon Creek, namesake for this trail. Ooh, I would miss if I didn't come over here and snag this little flowery area. Look at all those colors of flowers. This is beautiful. So we're descending Glacier View Trail, coming back essentially from Three Finger Jack zone. And we're heading back towards the Junction from whence we came. Instead of turning right and returning, we're going to keep going straight and we're going to hike all the way over to Wasco Lake. Well, that is the plan. Oh, I love these flowers next to the currently dry bed of Canyon Creek on this side. A meadow wonderland, my friend. Oh, look at how purple all this is. This is pretty gorgeous. Beautiful flowers. Pretty gorgeous area. Look at all these flowers. Orange, purple, yellow. Cornucopia of colors. Overwhelm the senses with floral delight. Absolutely beautiful. And we're back to this little creek, raging and roaring in all her fury. A little bit of a step there. Oh, this is so beautiful. If you enjoy a good creek, good floral-laden Alpine Wonderland zone, then Canyon Creek Meadows would be the one for you. Oh, I love this. As we continue to hike along, I love this. The log across. Look at these meadows. So I'm standing here in Lower Canyon Creek Meadow, Mount Jefferson Wilderness, Central Oregon. We've got a field of flowers and the mighty Canyon Creek slowly, gently meandering through this beautiful flowery meadow. This, my friend, is gorgeous. As we continue to hike along, so you see our trail sign here. We are now continuing along Canyon Creek Meadow. This will take us ultimately to Wasco Lake. We will have to turn to get to Wasco Lake. This trail doesn't directly take us to Wasco Lake. Look at all these beautiful flowers. Oranges, purples, yellows. Canyon Creek Meadows is a Wonderland zone. Look at these flowers. This is pretty cool, I gotta say. Ooh, I love this moss on these trees. Very ambiance, mood setting. It's a bit of an ethereal feel. Look at this. The sun's starting to peek through to our right a little bit, but we're still in a shaded canopy zone. Oh, this is so beautiful. Still hiking parallel to our friend Canyon Creek. As you can see, I've come off trail here a little bit to the Canyon Creek. I'm going to look back upstream and capture the beauty of the flowing creek in this alpine forest meadow flower wonderland. This is gorgeous. We are hiking parallel to the beautiful Canyon Creek, and here it is in all of its alpine forest wonder. This is beautiful. This is such a beautiful forest. Something about the Mount Jefferson wilderness, particularly in the Three-Finger Jack Loop zone. We're in the northeast quadrant of that zone. That is particularly gorgeous. Oh, this is beautiful. Wow, I love this mountain hemlock tree right on the edge of the trail. Pretty gorgeous. This is so beautiful. We're hiking through Mount Jefferson Wilderness, Central Oregon. Currently going from the Three-Fingered Jack Junction of Canyon Creek Meadows to the Wasco Lake turnoff. Oh, look how beautiful this is. This is Spruce Heaven, I'm gonna call this. The Spruce Heaven Zone. If you like spruces, still think the plural should be sprucei, then you will like this zone. Oh, this is amazing. Can I interest you in a spruce? This is crazy. To me, this is quintessential Mount Jefferson Wilderness Burnout. You got this incredible cornucopia of trees. It's a meadows off in the distance. You have this beautiful little mini tree zone, almost Christmas tree height. You got some flowers intermixed, dispersed around here. Oh, this little narrow spruce passageway. This is pretty amazing. If you are a lover of trees, a lover of wilderness, I don't know what's not to love about this area. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's a blue spruce wonder zone. If you ever just feel like you need to be around some blue spruce for whatever reason, then I think this is your place right here. Here at Mount Jefferson Wilderness, not far from the Wasco turnoff. It's Spruce Wonderland. We're getting close to our Wasco turn, going between some pretty gnarly root systems. And spruce heaven, really. Look at this. I feel like I'm ensconced in spruce trees in some of these zones. On my way now to Wasco Lake. A little bit of a meadow here. This to me would be a mosquito zone that I would steer clear from personally. Though I gotta say, pretty impressed for the first third of August to go by all these creeks and flowers, and haven't seen a single mosquito. I haven't gotten a single bite. So that would be in the W column. Spruce heaven. This really is a sprucey wonderland. Oh, got a couple pines here to accompany our spruce wonderland. Oh, we're getting some views of Three Finger Jack behind us. And we have our spruce wonderland. If you're ever sitting at home and you just get this overwhelming urge to be ensconced and surrounded by spruces, then I think Mount Jefferson Wilderness might be the place for you. And as I look back at Mount Three Finger Jack behind us, who amongst us has not had the urge to be ensconced and surrounded by spruce trees on the random occasion? Oh, this is so beautiful. This is a burnout zone, so we got some direct sun. Definitely feeling a little bit of the heat, but that's why we started early. We're doing a 12.7 mile 30. I'm being buzzed by something. We're doing a 12.7 mile, 1,700 foot elevation gain hike. We started early and got a lion's share of the elevation done in the morning in the 40s and 50s temperature wise. It's definitely getting warmer by the minute. Feels pretty good right now. We're going to be coming up to Wasco Lake shortly. The turn for Wasco Lake, I should say. Summit Trail. We'll go through a burnout zone, descend into the Wasco Lake basin, a brilliant blue sapphire lake. I think the sun will be hitting it in a way that accentuates its electric magic. I'm going to go to the north side of it, see if I can check out some of the backcountry campsites if they're not taken. Then I'm going to go up Minto Pass, a little bit of elevation gain there. I'm going to go up the PCT a little bit, part of the Three Finger Jack Loop, and do a little burnout section, get some good views of Three Finger Jack, do a little burnout section above that gets some good views of Mount Washington. Oh, this is so beautiful. So after going through a spruce-laden, a spruce-saturated section of Mount Jefferson Wilderness, now we are getting to the pine zone, narrow pine passageway. This is more of a pine-laden section, occasional hemlock. Quite a beautiful variety of tree species in this particular section of Mount Jefferson Wilderness. Getting some great direct sun. Running creek here to our left, Canyon Creek. So we continue to descend this Wonderland zone. And we're coming up to our junction to do Wasco Lake. See right here. Here is our trail junction. Here is the actual sign. Here it says Old Summit Trail this way. So we will continue along this direction. And we have a nice little creek crossing. Rock hopping. Before I walk across these rocks, I'm just going to stop here and take a look. You could just walk along the creek bed and accept that your feet are going to get wet, or if you want to do this gymnastic style, you can walk across the rocks and avoid getting wet entirely. I am going to walk across the rocks. We're here at a creek crossing. You can see the junction over there on the trail. This is where you turn on Old Summit Trail for Wasco Lake. You start this little venture by doing some rock hopping straight ahead to get across this beautiful babbling creek. This is an Alpine heavenly wonderland. This area is absolutely beautiful. We are now hiking the rugged shoreline of Wasco Lake, getting nice little hints of the lake. Look at that, it's beautiful. The sparkle. So we will be hiking parallel to this lake on the west side of it. Look at that, another little sparkle. Getting little peaks. This is the hide and seek peekaboo section of the trail for Wasco Lake. Continue down this rugged Mount Jefferson trail called Old Summit Trail. Bit of a burnout zone, ecologically diverse, brimming with life. You got flowers, you got trees. Obviously a fire here long ago and life is finding a way. And you get some beautiful views of Wasco as you parallel it. Look at that. Pretty gorgeous. So we will continue along this trail really till we get to the other side of Wasco straight ahead. Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. Loving this Wasco. We will continue down this trail till we get to that other side of the shoreline straight ahead. A couple good backcountry campsites over there. Go check those out. Probably the best access of the whole lake. Oh, here's a view. Look at that. Look at the beauty, sparkle, and splendor of the mighty Wasco Lake. This is gorgeous, my friend. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at that sparkle. Is that diamonds or is that Wasco Lake? I can't even tell at this point. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at the beauty. Oh, I love the Old Summit Trail here in Mount Jefferson Wilderness. Continue to hike along, getting pretty spectacular views of Wasco Lake. Seeing that diamond sparkle, sapphire sparkle of the sun on Wasco Lake is quite spectacular. A more sparkly lake than you will generally see, I would say. Stop here. here and take another look. Look at that. That is gorgeous. So I consider this to be the most beautiful lake in the entire 24-mile Three-Finger Jack Loop. You got a sapphire sparkle that is almost mesmerizing. And you got some backcountry campsites straight ahead, the other side of the lake. Oh, this is so gorgeous. The beautiful, incredible Alpine Wonderland, known as Wasco Lake. The very ecologically diverse Burnout zone. Here at the old Summit Trail, Mount Jefferson Wilderness, Central Oregon. And we're getting peaks, beautiful perspectives, beautiful Wasco Lake. And of course, this alpine forest itself is nothing to sneeze at. It's quite gorgeous. Sorts of different spruces and pines and mountain hemlocks, and purple and orange and yellow and pink flowers. It's a pretty gorgeous, life-brimming zone that I really enjoy personally. When I think of Mount Jefferson Wilderness, this is one of the areas that springs to mind. This beautiful Burnout zone. Continuing to get good views of Wasco. I think there's one really good viewpoint of Wasco along this trail that is behind me that I stopped at. We will take this around to the other side of Wasco straight ahead and check out the backcountry campsites. And then once we hike up Meadow Pass, we'll stop, turn around, and look back down. And we will be blown away by the magic. Look at all those birds. That's pretty cool. Wow. Birds are beautiful. That is an army. Hopefully they don't turn on me. Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at the magic. Look at the beauty. Oh, this is so beautiful. Incredibly beautiful. Our little blue spruce zone. Look at that. Got a little meeting there. That's pretty cool. Birds just hanging out in the middle of the lake. Mighty Wasco Lake. Here's our trail. Here is the brilliant blue sapphire sparkling Wasco Lake. And I seem to have timed this to right during the annual convention of the birds meeting in the center of Wasco Lake. Hopefully I don't interrupt their proceedings. Probably have some business they must attend to as I continue to hike along. Ooh, still more sparkles. One of the fun parts of this trail is you just keep getting little peekaboo hints at the beauty of the lake. This is gorgeous. This is a Burnout Nirvana, Burnout Wonderland. This is one of the more spectacular burnout zones you're gonna find. Quite gorgeous. And now we're very parallel to our friend Wasco Lake. It hikes a little above and past it, and then there's a trail down to it. I will be taking that trail. So we are not done with Wasco yet. Take that trail down, check out Wasco, and I'll go at Mental Pass. We're a little above and past the lake. Get a sense of it over there. We're coming up to a junction that will take us down. Here's our junction. You can see this takes us down. I'll be taking this. There's a few backcountry campsites along here. If I see tents, I'm certainly not going to disturb the people, but if they can all take a look. Lo and behold, here's the first spot. Appears vacant to me. And we'll come down and take a look. And here's our first Wasco Lake backcountry campsite. You can see there's several places to put a tent, a lot of flat places, and you got some good canopy cover. This big rock here is pretty cool. This big rock over here, which is pretty cool. This is a pretty amazing little backcountry camping area. Look at that. Several places to put your tent, kind of a big area. And then most importantly, last but not least, you do have this outstanding shoreline access. Come down here, refill your water, etc. Here's the almost like a seating area, great zone. And then look down here, the shoreline of the beautiful Wasco Lake. Oh, it's beautiful. Lake certainly looks bigger from this side, doesn't it? It kind of gives you the sense of the awesomeness. So here's your shoreline access. I will come right up to the edge of glory, of Wasco glory. And I'll take a look. You can see this is a pretty sweet backcountry campsite. Very impressive. We're here at Wasco Lake on the far side of the shoreline. If you're coming from Canyon Creek Meadows, I just want to stop and admire this brilliant, sparkling sapphire blue color. This beautiful lake. Oh, look at this. Look at the magic, look at the beauty, and look at the glory of the mighty Wasco Lake. You can see straight ahead, just the tip, three-finger jack saying hello. This, my friend, absolutely gorgeous. So we're exploring the backcountry camping zone, mighty Wasco Lake. Got our first backcountry camping site to the right here. Probably can handle a couple tents. Continue down the shoreline of this lake. There really isn't any signage or individualized trails demarking the camping spots, more of just a general cluster zone of backcountry camping capability. Still exploring this backcountry camping zone. If you're approaching this from the Canyon Creek side, this is the opposite side. If you're approaching it from a clockwise perspective, then you hit this side first before you go by Wasco Lake. So you just take a left and descend down into this gorgeous shoreline wonderland. This is beautiful. Look at this. This is pretty magical. Got a pretty expansive shoreline section with pretty epic views. Look at that. All sorts of places to camp. You can see it's got this network of logs here, which gives you great places to sit, great places to put your gear, your backpack. All sorts of flat areas like this where you can pop a tent. You can see a lot of people have probably camped right here, and this is their view. Look at this. It's probably the best campsite of the whole place. Step back here. So imagine you come down the trail, you put your tent right here, and then maybe even you can orient it so when you open up your tent in the morning, this is what you see. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is not a bad view to start your morning. Where I'm standing right here is probably the best backcountry camping site here at Wasco Lake, Mount Jefferson Wilderness, Three Finger Jack Loop, Central Oregon. Lots of nomenclature. Look at this view. You've got the peak, the tip, towering over that hill ridge straight ahead, that burnout zone of the mighty Three Finger Jack. Oh, this is so beautiful. As we continue to hike along, continuing to check out this backcountry camping zone on the shoreline of beautiful Wasco Lake. Here's clearly a campfire with rocks. Look at your access to the lake right here. Refill your water or just take a refreshing dip, depending on the season. Look at this. This is amazing. This is incredible. The beautiful Wasco Lake. Brilliant blue sapphire, diamond sparkle. Best lake in the entire 24-mile Three Finger Jack Loop. A true Alpine wonderland, Wasco Lake.